Coach Chris here. Welcome to Track to Run On. And this is one of the best practices. This is how you hit a sales target. And I often talk about that when you're delivering value to your clients, whether they're coaching clients or you're selling any number of things and you're talking to a potential customer, you want to be totally focused on delivering value in that conversation. And the sales systems are kind of like jumping out of the airplane. When you're jumping out of an airplane, you don't really want to have to plan then what you're going to do to prevent disaster, right? So when you're jumping out of an airplane, you want to enjoy the experience of jumping out of an airplane without stressing about it, at least beyond the reasonable amount, right? And that's what your sales systems are for. This is making sure you're going to be okay. This is making sure your business is going to be worth it to you, and you know the amount of activity that you must take to reach your sales goal, whether that's a number of customers or clients or coaching or whatever you're doing, network marketing team, whatever it is, number of sales. That's what this is for. So this is kind of that parachute so that when you are delivering value to the clients, you can totally focus on delivering value to the client because you've already got your safety net in play to make sure that as long as you follow your system, that you are going to be okay and your business is going to thrive. So we just don't want you having to concern yourself with that when you're actually delivering value. So here's how to hit a sales target. And this is breaking it down, beginning with the end in mind. I call it a track to run on because it's like train track. If you're taking a train from, let's say, Los Angeles to Chicago, just to mix it up, right? If you get on the train in Los Angeles and let's say you go to sleep, when you wake up, you just check, look out the window, oh, we're still on the train tracks. You're confident that you are still going to arrive in Chicago. And that's what this is like. As long as you stay on track, you follow this path, you're highly likely to hit your sales target. Again, there's no guarantees, but this is highly likely to happen over a long period of time and a big enough sample size. Okay, so that's why I call it a track to run on, because you have to take a bigger goal. As the old saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? You do it by one bite at a time. And while we may set goals, you want to set goals, you can only live your life one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 moment at a time. We don't have any other choice, right? That's the size we are given. So this is how you can manage yourself in the flow of time to focus on the results that you must produce that directly lead to getting paid. This is a critical component, backbone of your business. I don't care what it is. So whenever I work with a business owner, or an entrepreneur, or a salesperson, or a coach, or whoever, one of the things I want to find out from them is what's the average amount of commission you make on a sale, because, or you may have to guess. Sometimes we just take educated guesses and then we track that activity and see what it ends up being and make adjustments. Because what happens here is you need to know about what your numbers are. So this is a great way to start. If you don't know what your numbers are, you can't produce predictable results. So this is going to be your track to run on of what sales activities you must do. Lead generation system. We're going to begin with the end in mind. So let me show you how this works. This is how I break it down for someone. A lot of times when someone sets a goal, they'll say, well, I'm not sure that's realistic. And I'll go, well, let's find out. This is how I determine if a goal is realistic. So let's just, for sake of illustration purposes, we're going to start at the top here, go down to the bottom. And this is a begin with the end in mind, reverse engineer from the end. So we're starting at the end, and then we're going to go backwards till we get to the beginning. So we're watching that movie in reverse here, okay? So let's just say the goal or the outcome is $10,000 in income. Let's just say that. The next thing you'll have to either know, research, or make an educated guess on, ask someone who's an expert, whatever, is how many sales would I have to make to reach $10,000 a month? Whether it's before taxes, after taxes, however you want to measure that. How many sales would it take to get that income? That's what we're looking at, okay? So, for sake of argument, you may look at it and go, okay, that's $10,000. I got to get 100 sales a month, or whatever it is. Okay, so you got to know what that is. Or you make an educated guess on what it approximately would be. Most businesses, it's pretty easy to tell what that would be. So we'll work with that. So how many sales must you get? Then you're going to go, okay, how many presentations do you have to deliver or run? I use the term run here, but it means how many presentations, sales presentations, sample coaching sessions, whatever your version is of where you're going through a presentation and asking for a commitment. How many of those have to happen to get that many sales? So if you realize, oh, I have to get 100 sales, right, then it's how many presentations do you have to deliver to get that many sales, right? So I'm going to use a more realistic number. Most people don't need to get 100 sales a month, so let's try to keep it, somewhat more reasonable. So let's say you have to get, for sake of argument, 20 sales a month. So the question would be, how many presentations do you have to deliver that would put the odds in your favor to get that many sales? So let's say your close ratio is 1 in 3 for sake of simplicity's sake, right? That means I would need to deliver 60 presentations a month to make 20 sales. Okay, and this is stuff that we're going to track in the tracker when we cover that video. We're going to cover tracking. But this is how you figure out what you got to do. How much activity should I take? That's how you figure it out. Okay, so let's say I have to deliver 30 presentations, right? I said 60. You have to deliver 60 presentations to get 20 sales. So then how many presentations do you have to schedule to get those 60 presentations to run or occur? And I usually figure about 30%. So I'm going to add 30% to the 60 number. Okay, so that's 18, but let's just make it 20 for sake of simplicity. So that means I must schedule 80 presentations to deliver 60 presentations to make 20 sales. Okay, hope you're following me. Then the next thing you're going to go in the process is how many dials or contacts, let's say. I'm trying to keep this simple. That's why I put dials in here. How many contacts do you need to make to schedule 80 presentations? Okay, so maybe it's 1 in 10 for sake of simplicity, right? So that means I would have to contact 800 people, reach out to connect with 800 people to schedule the 80 appointments, right? I always say one person out of 10 will say yes to just about anything, so that's pretty maybe extreme. You never really know. Just depends on the situation. You can measure this and find out, but I'm being very general here. So if you have to schedule 80 presentations and you figure 1 in 5 people you contact will agree to an appointment, right? Then I'm going to take the 80, and I'm going to go, okay, 5 times 80, that's 400. So I got to make 400 contacts to schedule the 80 presentations to deliver 60 presentations to get 20 sales. Then I'm going to divide that 400 by how many business days I have in the month, or how many business days you're going to do in a month, and you're left with your daily activity. Okay? So if I have to do, we'll break our calculator out here. Okay? So if I have to contact, the average business month has between 22 and 26 business days. 4.5 weeks. It's somewhere in there, just depending on holidays and weekends and all that. So let's just say, for sake of argument here, that we have to contact 400 people, right? And we have, for sake of simplicity, we'll say 20 business days, right? So 400 people, 20 business days, right? Boom, 20 people a day. That's an achievable number. So we go, okay, I got to contact 20 people a day. Or let's put it this way, you may have to reach out to 20 people a day. Usually when I measure a contact number, I'm measuring a dial number, or I'm measuring a communication number, because you don't have direct control over how many people you actually speak to. So it's attempts is what I'm going to measure. But we're just going to do this for illustration purposes. So I got to reach out to, let's say I got to reach out to 20 people a day for this, in order to get to 400 for the month, right? And if I have to schedule 80 presentations, right, we're going to take 80 divided by 20. Right, that tells me I got to schedule 4 presentations a day. Okay? 4 presentations a day, right? And if I have to deliver 60, right, divide that by 20, because how many business days? That's 3. So this is your track to run on. Your track to run on is a set 4 presentations per day, and deliver 3 presentations per day. That would be your track to run on in that illustration to make $10,000. So if you're telling me all I have to do is schedule 4 sales presentations a day and deliver 3, yes, in a one-on-one model, you would. Now, there's many things you can do to accelerate that, whether it's public speaking or internet marketing or referrals or any number of things we can do to get those presentations. That's often the next question is, well, how do I get that many presentations where I'm getting 20 sales, I'm delivering 60 presentations, I'm scheduling 80, I'm connecting with 400 people. How do I do that? You do that through your lead generation system, which is beyond the span of this video. We're going to do that later in another video here. Okay, but this is your track to run on. In this case, it would be a set 4, run 3 model. If you're a coach, most part-time coaches, sales model is going to be a schedule 2 sample sessions a day and deliver 1 sample session a day. That's a one-time sample session where someone gets to sample your coaching. Sometimes we call it a free coaching session. Some people call it a discovery session. That's what that's likely going to be if you're a part-timer. If you're a full-timer, a lot of times it's a set 3, run 2 model, where you're there to set 3 sample sessions and deliver 2. I've coached people in practically every sales industry. It's a little different for everybody. In real estate, usually it's like a set 1, run 1 model. Set 1 listing presentation a day, deliver 1. It depends on what it is. I've done solar for people. It's usually somewhere around a set 4, run 3 model or a set 3, run 2 at times. How many you're doing a day. But you got to know what it is for you. And if you're working with me, we will figure this out together, or at least have, if you don't know the exact numbers of your business, we'll make educated guesses, and then we will track it from there. But this is critical. Everyone's going to wonder, what is your secret? How are you successful? You know, and it's like, well, how are you so successful? And it's like, I set 3, run 2. And they go, no, it can't be that easy. Tell me what you're really doing. It's like, no, I set 3, run 2. Right? This is consistency. You want to tattoo this to your forehead. You want to write it on the bathroom mirror. You want this in front of you at all times when you're doing your business. This is a core responsibility of your business. How many presentations you must deliver, how many presentations you must schedule to deliver enough, the right amount of presentations to almost ensure you're going to hit your sales numbers. That is going to give you consistency and income. A lot of people complain to me and they go, Chris, being an entrepreneur is so hard, it's so unpredictable. No, it's not. It's not unpredictable. It's very predictable. Okay? If you perform consistently this track to run on, the odds are highly likely that you will be very successful in your business, in your sales profession, in your coaching business, whatever we're doing here, whatever you're applying this formula to. Odds are you will be highly successful and that you will have consistency of income, and that frees you up to be able to do a lot of other things that are maybe more advanced strategies, but you never disrespect being able to maintain your cash flow in your business. Cash is oxygen, as Gary Vaynerchuk says, and this is the way that you create consistent income. Is you got to know what your sales model is. You got to know what your track to run on is. So go ahead, put yours together. If you're working with me, welcome to send it over to me. We'll work on it together. But this is critical. Got to get this done. Send it to your coach. Make sure you're both on the same page. If you're working with me or you're working with somebody else, make sure you're both on the same page. Make sure you know, and then plug this information into a tracker, and then in one of the videos, the other videos that I put together, so you can measure your performance against what you must do. This is what your business is going to require you to do to be successful. It may or may not work in super short periods of time, right? I can't promise if you do all these things within 30 days you're going to get big sales. You might not, but I can tell you the odds are really in your favor if you do it over 90 days consistently. You know, you're out delivering those 60 presentations a month for 90 days. You're at 180 presentations in this formula. Odds are really good you're going to have a nice number of sales. So this is the fundamental. Do focus on the fundamental, and you'll be you'll be surprised how good a result you get. So this is the track to run on. This is how much I got to do to succeed. Hi, Coach Chris here. If you are watching the track to run on video, this is the section for coaches. So if you're a coach, you're getting this part here. So as we talked about in track to run on, this is about taking the actions necessary to build your client base. So for phase one of most coaches' coaching business, my recommendation is that you don't spend time building all your internet marketing systems. You don't spend all your time trying to create a product yet, because you're not there yet. What you're doing in the first part of your business for most of you will be to, if you're a phase one coach, will be getting one-on-one coaching clients to create a consistent cash flow so that you can get enough clientele where you can leave your day job, you can go be a full-time coach, you have consistency of income coming in, and then you can go and do those other more advanced things to go up the ladder of how you use your time and everything. But a coaching practice, I've never seen pretty much anybody as a thought leader or a leader of people not have some kind of coaching practice. They almost all have some kind of one-on-one coaching that they do, even if it is minimal, because it's a great cash flow strategy. This allows you to create the income. You get paid on the first of the month. Your feet hit the ground. Boom, you got paid. Now you help your coaching clients, which is the fun part, and you focus the rest of your time on growing your business for the rest of the month. Nice place to be. This is how you get there. Okay? So most people take less action than they think they are. A tracker will let you know exactly what you're doing. So you're going to add this to your Track to Run On. Okay, I have another video you're going to do, which is a more extensive one on how to do tracking around all your lead generation system, and you can include this in that if you want. But this is a super simple, how many sessions am I scheduling, free coaching sessions, one-time sales coaching sessions. Okay, this is for you to do selling. This is for you to do a one-time coaching session. We are not going to do 3 coaching sessions and then ask them to hire you. It's going to be one session. At the end of a session, if they don't want to know if they want to hire you, that means they don't want to hire you. Okay, at the end, I'm a firm believer. At the end of a sample session, they spend an hour with you, whatever it is, they know if they want to hire you or not. So there's no need to keep talking to them. They're either in or they're out. Okay, and if they're out, then you can shake their hand, wish them well, and keep them in your funnel, and we'll talk about that in another video. Anyway, bottom line is this. As mentioned in the previous video, for most part-time coaches, a set 2 run 1 model is their sales model. They want to focus on scheduling 2 sample sessions and delivering 1 for every business day they are in their business. So if they're doing 3 days a week, that'll be a set 6 run 3 model. If they're doing 5 days a week, right, they're going to do a set 10 sessions run 5 model. Because you have to be aware you're going to have probably a 30% cancellation ratio in that range. You want to measure that on another tracker, but this is just to keep track of what you're doing for coaching sessions, because that's the bottom line about whether or not you are getting clients or not. The secret to a coaching business is scheduling, okay, if you like that word better, scheduling enough one-time sample sessions and delivering enough one-time sample sessions. Then you get the client allows you to see, one, if your coaching works. If you're following our systems, your coaching is going to work, okay? But you want to make sure your stuff works in the real world. The other thing you want to do is you want to know what people want to buy. This will help you to know what people want to buy, because you'll be interacting with your market all the time instead of watching, what you think they might be doing. Okay, you're actually seeing it. The other thing it will nicely allow you to do is it'll allow you to know exactly what product to create when you get to a phase 2, what products you will create, what internet products to create, etc. So phase 1 is about you staying in the business and not having to work a day job. It's about consistency of income. So then you can start thinking, instead of about survival, you can be focusing on, how do I grow my business? How do I get higher leverage activities? How do I clone myself? That's going to be a big part of this if you want to go to the other phases. So right now this is a phase 1 strategy. Once you get to a certain level of coaching clients that you want to have, you're going to use this to maintain your coaching practice. So when you first get into coaching, my feedback I will give you is, if you're getting 1 new client a month, your business is dying. It is going to die. You will have to go do something else or be a part-time side gig coach. Up to you. If you're getting 2 new clients a month, you're likely treading water. You may even be dying slowly, but you're treading water. You're not going to ever grow a business that's much bigger than you got. It's probably not going to get horrible or worse, but it might get a little worse. But at least you'll always have some clients. Nothing wrong with that, if you want. I would like to see every coach I work with, at least in their phase 1, where they're building their coaching business, I'd like to see them getting 3 to 4 new clients a month. If you're doing that, you're likely growing your business. Your business is going to be creating more income 1 month than the previous month, month over month, highly likely. So this is designed for you to get the number of clients a month that you want to attract in your business, and that's about taking enough of the actions that lead to directly getting clients to work with you. That's the sample session. If you don't run enough sample sessions, you won't have enough clients. End of story. That's the way it goes. All right, so let's go through this tracker a little bit. Now we know your sales model is probably a set 2 run 1 model or a set 3 run 2 model in most cases. If you're coaching with me, you can ask me. We can run the numbers together on Track to Run On. If you're not working with me, you're working with another coach, no problem. You can go over the concept with them. It's not necessarily too high of a concept. It's pretty basic. We can go through it. We can get the numbers down. So anyways, column A. This is tabs 1 through 31. This is going to let you know what day of the month that it is. So whatever day of the month it is, on the row next to it, you're going to put down in column B, coaching sessions scheduled, coaching session set. Again, these are free coaching sessions. These are one-time sales presentations, free coaching sessions. This is not coaching sessions. This is not coaching sessions with your paying clients. No need. That's not what this is. All right, so be aware of that. Next, coaching sessions ran or coaching sessions delivered. That is going to be, you set a coaching session, a certain percentage of them are going to occur, or they're going to no-show, reschedule, let you know, hey, I need to cancel, or I need to push it back, whatever. So we know a percentage of those are going to happen. It's going to happen. You have to plan for it. Okay, so this is measuring which ones actually occurred. And then column D here is new clients. And by the way, I'm not going to count a new client until if you're doing a contract, they've assigned the agreement, and the payment goes through. You will learn that there's a lot of people that like to tell you what they think you want to hear when they're talking with you. At the end of the day, they give up on themselves. So just be aware of that nothing counts until it's official. That's just in your own mind. You just have to do that. You just got to release that and understand that that's going to be part of this business. You are on the front lines working with people, facing stuff they don't want to face, doing things they don't want to do, and you're going to see what happens when people are under extreme stress. You're going to see either them step up and the hero come out of them, or you're going to see the ugly parts of their the low end of their character come out. Because we're on the front lines when it comes to people. The politeness goes out the window pretty quick in coaching. The coreness of what people's behavior comes out. I'm not saying they're rude. They're usually very nice, but they're just going to behave in what they feel they have to do to survive. That could be stepping up and and coaching with you and betting on themselves, or it could be giving up on themselves and hiding from you. We'll have to see. Anyway, so I put weekend on here. I put holiday on here. It just depends. This helps you know, okay, do I want to work on the weekend or not? I would block out the days I'm not working so that I would know in my tracker that I'm not going to put any numbers in that day. So you get the concept of the cells and the rows here. What's going to happen is, as you look at the bottom under totals, the Excel document will calculate these cells together. So don't put yes. Okay, put numbers in here. This can't recognize yeses or nos or words. It only knows numbers. Speak its language and it will talk to you. So I just did this for sake of illustration. You have 2 3s here, 6 at the bottom, and then you're going to put your goal for the month of each of these activities. So if you're doing, for example, for sake of simplicity, 20 business days, and your goal is to schedule 3 sample sessions per day, my goal is going to be 60 on this row, under this goal row here. 60 for scheduled, and then if I'm doing 60 scheduled, I'm probably going to go, okay, so that's probably somewhere around, like 43 or whatever ran. I would probably take 18 from 60, giving me what, 42? So 42 would be here, and then you would have your goal for new clients for the month. So let's just say, for sake of illustration, I usually figure around 1 in 5 for a new coach, unless you've got a lot of ratios there. When I plan, I like to be super conservative so that you're highly confident that if you take the action, you're likely to hit your target. Okay, so if I had to do, let's say for the sake of illustrations here, 1 in 5, and you had 40 on there, I'm going to go, okay, cool. If I run 40 sessions, then I'm going to likely, get 8 clients, right? That kind of a thing. So, adjust for your scenario, okay? And then what that's going to do is it's going to take what you did and the goal, and it's going to tell you what the difference is. In other words, are you ahead of target, behind target, or on target on your actual activity? Then it will give you the percentage of goal that you are. So you are welcome to send me your tracker each business day if you're working with me. I would recommend, if you're not working with me, send it to your coach anyway, because we'll be able to eyeball it and give you some feedback on what's going on. If you send it to me, if you're working with me, I'm going to acknowledge you and I'll let you know any feedback that I see. This allows you to not keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again because you're maybe simply not aware of it. So if you're looking at this and you go, oh, it's the 5th of the month. Well, if it's the 5th of the month, then, or let's just say the 10th for sake of simplicity. If it's the 10th of the month, I should probably be a third of the way toward my goals, right? So everything under difference here should probably be, under percentage of goal should probably be in the 30% range if I'm 30% of the way into the month, right? So this is a great way to keep track and not drop the ball and get distracted off what gets clients. If you focus on this, you should be getting new clients consistently each month over time. I'm not promising the first month you're going to get clients. It's too small a sample size to guarantee. You might, and you might not the first month. But if you're doing this for 90 days, it's highly unlikely. There are no guarantees in this business. I guarantee nothing, okay? That's not how it works. But over time, like 90 days, the numbers should average out, and it's highly likely if you are doing a set 2 run 1 model, set 3 run 2 model over 60 to 90 days, pretty good chance you got clients. And if you're not, then there's something likely going on that we know needs to be adjusted, and you make the adjustment. So this is a track to run on for a simple coaching practice tracker on am I running enough sessions, delivering enough sessions. So take this and use it. Keep that sales model on your forehead, on your bathroom mirror, wherever you're going to see it. Don't forget that. That is the core fundamental. If there's nothing else about a coaching business that you remember what your sales model is. Set 2 run 1, set 3 run 2. Remember that, and you will highly likely increase your chance of success.